Everybody, Triple Options back, and we are on a 3-game winning streak. I am here with my guys, my winners, my boys, Kevin Little, Coach Adam Brown. What's up, boys? How's it feel to be on a streak?
What up, Trey? Love it, man. Feels good. It's been a long time.
It has been a very long time.
I was just trying to look up that stat that has been floating around about the penalties where we had 3 games in a row where we committed less penalties than X games in the past 3 years or whatever. So just exciting trajectory of the program, it seems, right now. We're sitting here having the same conversation in the summer after the recruiting class. So let's just keep this. Let's hope this time we can keep the stone rolling a little bit.
Stay on this path.
Yep.
Looks good, feels good, smells good, but the real meat of the schedule comes up. I will say that great win on Saturday, 59-3 against UMass. My bloodlust has been satiated. The boys came through and they gave the beatdown that I think the Florida State fan base deserved. With that being said, UMass is one of the worst organized American football teams I have ever laid eyes on. Historically, one of the worst that Florida State's ever played. They were awful, and however, we took them out to the woodshed and beat them to death. So I'm a fan of that. So I think what we're really going to do, because all eyes are on Clemson and Wuhan Dabo and his Beijing Tigers, those COVID super spreaders. It's the game that everybody's been waiting for. It didn't happen last year, and it's happening this year. And boys, Florida State fan base is licking their chops a little bit. This is the worst Clemson team that Florida State has played in at least 10 years, right, guys?
It's been a while.
This is the best chances we've had since 2017.
I would probably go even farther back than that.
Really? I mean, we had a chance in 2017, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But we were better in 2017.
It's all relative. As far as like this is a clash of two flaccid objects like going into each other.
Oh boy.
It's just
Flaccidity.
it's just a big pillow fight because both teams aren't very good. But guess what? I don't care because Florida State's not supposed to be that good right now. Clemson is coming off just their run as the class of the ACC. Florida State hasn't been able to touch them in half a decade. And boys, I'm not saying we're going to win, but I'm saying there's a chance, and it's looking fairly realistic. So what we're going to do, we're going to give our quick thoughts on the UMass game. What, if anything, we can extrapolate Florida State just beating a peewee team like we did against UMass, where there are things that we can actually look forward and use as a measuring stick for the future. But then we're going to get right into it. We're going to watch Syracuse play Clemson. We picked Syracuse because they were a common opponent. Florida State has already beaten Syracuse. Clemson really went down to the wire against them again. So we're going to see if there's some things that Syracuse did that maybe Florida State can emulate, if there's some things that, some weaknesses that Florida State can exploit in a totally different way. So quick thoughts before we get into the old Syracuse-Clemson, what we're going to use as our preview to look at Clemson. What were your thoughts on the UMass game? Is there anything that we can extrapolate and take forward, Kevin?
Yeah, I think the continued identity offensively, they really ran the ball, devoted to it, which is nice to see against a team that you don't have to, right? You don't have to be that committed. You can afford to be balanced. You can afford to do what you want. But instead they showed, hey, we have good running backs. We have a quarterback whose strength is in this part of the game, so we're going to devote ourselves to really doing it and doing it well. And so that was a positive on offense. Defense, there was still some rocky places despite holding them to 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like to see in the defense, and I said this in the instant, was you saw big players make plays. You saw the pick six, you saw the interception in the end zone, and those are 2 plays that we haven't seen Florida State make against anybody in 3 years. And so those were exciting things.
I agree with that, Adam. Anything to add there?
No, I was pretty pleased that they came out and put their foot on their throats and just kind of ended them quickly. There was no patience with them. I mean, they had a mission and they went out and accomplished it quickly. It was nice to see So a lot of the younger guys get in the second half and play a lot of reps. I was happy to see Chuba. You could tell there's some real growth there from him,
Yeah.
and his ability to become a quarterback here. Yeah, and I mostly just agree with Kev. I thought overall, continuing your identity of being a team that runs the football. Travis continues to look comfortable as a thrower. I know he missed a couple, but that's going to happen in the course of a game. I thought defensively, I actually really liked what they did, adapting to something they probably hadn't seen very much with some of the
some real gimmicks.
With some of the gimmicks that UMass was running out there. So I actually really liked what they did. Guys showed they could think on the fly a little bit, which is something we haven't seen much from this defense. And they adapted in game, in quarter, between series pretty well, I thought. Overall was a absolute ass whipping and was fun.
Yeah. So what I'd say, the things that really stuck to me that I think, you're never going to play a team where you're so much better than from a talent perspective for the rest of the schedule. But to me, the self-awareness that Florida State showed, running team, going to run it down your throat, the comfort there, like you said, Jordan Travis was comfort. Even the young guys that got in were comfortable. Response, you can really see that in the play of like Jarvis Brownlee, literally uncaught an interception, caught it, and then like gave it back. I've never seen that. However, responded, came back, got the pick six. And then the sense of urgency. I really like that there was no playing with your food. There was no sleepwalking like what you saw with Jacksonville State. Stepped on the throat. Game over. Go back to Amherst, you Northeastern dorks. So that's what I think that I think we can extrapolate. It's more of the culture filtering through the identity. That identity that Florida State, you're almost starting to see like a full picture there, which I think is fun. And they're going to need it to beat Clemson. It's the worst Clemson team in a long time, and they are still stacked with a lot of athletes, particularly on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, defense.
So let's get into it. As a reminder, we will look at some of the UMass film after this. Oh, the friendly confines of the old Carrier Dome.
With no air conditioning.
Yeah, they do like to make you swampy there, don't they?
Maybe air conditioning now. I don't. It's hard to tell. Florida State better clean up the kicking game. That's all I know.
Yeah, you can't be losing special teams like you did against UMass and expect to pull off one against Clemson.
Let's run it back and get a look at what their base kind of front is. So they're showing. They like to run a lot of 3-2-6, 3-4 type looks.
Yep.
There'll be some 4-man, but they've kind of gone away from that since Breesy's got hurt.
Yeah, so it's been a big move to this kind of 3-3 look. The Iowa State kind of inspiration. Yeah, and they he gets so creative with this. I've got a preview coming up later this week, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper into some of these blitzes and some of these stunts that they like to do, but really is a hallmark of his defense, Venables.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like one thing to look for going into this week is the health of the offensive line, as always. But the biggest thing is that cohesiveness. They come at you from so many different angles, and they disguise so well the stunts that they're going to run. Florida State's going to need that cohesion up front to be able to pick a lot of that stuff up.
Yeah, totally agreed. They play aggressive, fast.
Yeah. Is there some opportunity there to catch Clemson in a stunt or a blitz by running directly at them? I know there's a lot of school of thought of the best way to, attack the blitz. And a lot of people say, just straight run through it. Cause if you make it through at that first level, you're going to have a big chunk play. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that stuff sounds really good. They're really sound. They don't get out of position. They don't get out gapped. And I think Kenny said it today in his presser, when they tackle you, they tackle you. You don't continue. Mm. So yeah, breaking arm tackles is going to be great against the blitz if you can break them. The biggest thing is you're going to have to just grind this out. You're going to have to stay ahead of the chains. Travis is going to have to hit some timely throws, especially in the middle of the field, because they're going to come from so many different angles in the middle of the field. He's going to have to find those throws in there. Look, they try to set up a screen here. They're just all over
blown up, yeah.
You want to slow this game down. You want to take advantage of the few drives that you should hopefully have in this game. And Just the goal is to grind out a 14-7 kind of victory.
Whew, my God. So we're all agreeing Clemson's strength is their defense. Let's take a look at the Clemson offense and
Here's the thing.
DJ.
Here's the thing that jumps out at me right away. Yeah, Kev's already drawing it up. They don't work for each other like they have in the past.
This is unacceptable.
That's poor. That's piss poor effort right there. I mean, that's a bad football play.
Look, you got 2-on-1 out here. This is a touchdown. Maybe not a touchdown, but it's a 20-yard gain if
still a big
you
play.
make
I'm
one
not
big
sure how
block.
as a coaching staff. I don't know if 11 played against Pitt or not. I've watched it. I don't remember looking for him, so I wasn't paying that much attention to whether 11 was on the field. But that's
oh my.
That's a fireable offense right there.
Yeah, unacceptable.
There has been a lot of consternation within the Clemson fan base over their receiver core, and I know that they've been hit with injuries, but that's got nothing to do with okay. And I think this Clemson offensive line, they suffered a pretty big injury against Pitt, I believe. I think their best player went out with torn ACL too, right, Adam? So that's a place to attack.
They're down a bunch of bodies up front. They're starting at least one true freshman. I know Will Putnam, who's been in and out. It's a name Florida State fans will know. Has been in and out of the lineup injured. They lost one of their top backups a week ago. They're really banged up. It's an opportunity to feast for the Florida State front, and that's a big reason why they're struggling. That, and look at the lack of buy-in. We talk about buy-in a lot on this show. Mm-hmm. Look at the lack of buy-in from Clemson on that first play that we highlighted.
Yeah, so you can sit here and talk about quarterback this, quarterback that. It definitely doesn't help, but there's a whole host of problems on that offense to be as bad as they are. This defensive line is not as talented as times past, but I mean it's still Clemson,
Yeah, they just keep bailing them out. I mean, they're bailing them. This is probably should be a 2, maybe 3-win team, and that defense is just absolutely disgusting.
It's probably the second best defense in the country.
Can Florida State run on them?
Can they?
Are you asking or?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm asking you guys. What do you think?
They can.
What are your thoughts?
Well, we'll get to it later in the Syracuse game, depending on how deep we get. But Syracuse, the one Achilles heel I think of Clemson's defense is Venables' desire and his insistence on running nickel and dime almost exclusively.
Oh my goodness!
It gives them the advantage against.
Oh wow!
Yeah, their offensive line is shaky.
And we saw Florida State run for how many yards against Syracuse? I mean, at least 200. We know that much.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain like consistent running plays like we have over these past 3 weeks, but we're going to hit our explosives, I think, against Clemson. Is it going to be enough to get the points we need? That's the real question.
That's the thing is they're gonna get those tackles for losses, and they're gonna try to get you off schedule. And if they're able to do that, then our offense isn't going to be able to do anything.
And with a low-scoring game like this, man, we really have to step up our special teams play because a good return here, just something like what happened the first play against UMass is going to kill you trying to pull this win off.
Yeah, you're going to have to find field position. There's a little outside zone, off the motion.
Oh, wow.
Kid's a good player. I don't think he's any better than Jayshon Corbin, though.
For sure.
Yeah, but, I mean, this isn't made or broke off of the running back skill. This is
you run through an arm tackle there, but
it's a great effort block too.
Right. Any running back gets 12 yards on this play.
Yeah, they called him in. They called him with that motion. I'm guessing they probably rolled in the secondary.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. They were not respecting the pass out here. They're trying to take away whatever this is, rolling in the secondary. Just weren't expecting the run back the other way. And you got to expect that Norvell's going to see this and try to set similar things up.
And they're blitzing inside, Trey. So there's, you talk about it. Sometimes running to the outside, if you can get numbers out there is a way to beat it. Sometimes running right at is a way to beat it.
Multiple ways. And like I said, it's all easy in theory, but you got to catch them in the right deal. But
there you go. Yeah, they rolled 3.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. That's optimistic for me because we've seen the Mike Norvell and Kenny Dillingham's ability to manipulate the defense you're playing against with motions, with unbalanced sets, with a lot of exotic blocking schemes. I mean, that's something that Mike and Kenny can draw up very easily.
Mm-hmm. Look, I don't. This Clemson defense is good. I don't know if it's that much better than Notre Dame's defense.
Interesting. Okay.
It is better. I do think it's better, but I think it was better on paper when they had all their guys. I mean, they're down some bodies up front that were some really, really special players.
Oof.
Oh, shit, at Christmas. You can't do that.
Yep. He doesn't see this robber roll in late.
And to be fair, I don't even think you can really compare Jordan Travis and Garrett Schrader. I think Jordan right now is so much of a better player than Garrett Schrader is. And Schrader, he with plays like that, they still almost got the job done against Clemson. Yeah. So I think we've got the advantage there as far as our team versus the Syracuse team.
I think even in the Syracuse game, you saw a team in Florida State that was still trying to find their footing. I think if we played that game today, we win by 2 scores. We're up by 2 scores the whole game. We just fell apart. But yeah, this Clemson offense is terrible.
I'm wondering if they can if they start the other quarterback, Tyson. I can't pronounce
Tyson Fomachan. Okay.
If they start him, how much are they going to run him? Will DJ start to run? DJ ran it like 8 times last week, I think, which was more than what he's done in the past.
Here's 11 back in.
Yeah, I think that's a Jew, H-E-O.
Yeah, he was playing against Pitt. I don't know if he got hurt or not.
They've got a lot of guys out.
I'll tell you what, guys. I don't think it matters which of the two that they start. If you've seen Florida State's, and some of it's by design, but their Achilles heel the past couple of weeks is the quarterbacks have gotten yardage on them on the ground. I think you're going to see a heavy dose of that. No matter which of the quarterbacks are playing, and you might see both. You might see both on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I think the difference being, you can legitimately be worried about Malik Cunningham or Sam Howell beating you with their arm, and so you sell out to stop them from throwing the football, and you say, okay,
true, yeah.
I don't think DJ is quite that threat. He makes amazing throws like this, but then he'll just like airball 3rd and 4.
Why the regression, guys, from what he was last year in limited action to what he's been doing this year? Where do you think it stems from?
It wasn't regression. I said he looked bad last year.
Ooh.
I thought he looked just fine last year. I mean, he's thrown 300 plus yards.
Kid can't throw it to his left.
I think a big issue is the offensive line. There's not a lot of help there. I mean, we've talked about buy-in. I'm not sure these guys are working very hard when the ball's not coming to them.
Yeah, this receiver core is pretty sad. They don't have a running game to rely on.
It's really good though. They're really talented, and that's why you talk about not respecting DJ's arm. I'm not worried about him. It's Justin Ross going up and making a freak show play that worries me.
Right,
against our guys.
They've been dropping easy ones, but you never know.
But we saw Jack Cohn in the first game throw for nearly 400 yards and one-on-one balls, and then be very pedestrian since. So those are the things that worry me a little bit.
Man, you can get some yards downfield if you
can block them.
If you can pick up the block, you know.
I don't think our receivers are as good as Syracuse though. So
that's probably true.
I mean, we just see our guys, even against UMass, we can't. I mean, you were there. They couldn't get open.
They can't get open against frigging UMass. I'm telling you what, people don't want to hear this, but I saw a full crossing route, which we've said repeatedly on this show, should be an automatic 30-yard play if you have time to complete a crossing route. And they were just not getting open against UMass. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, what do we see here?
It's just inside zone, and they blocked the back. They blocked the backside. He gets held by the quarterback, or the backside backer the backer gets held by the quarterback, and then those two are reading outside zone. He just cuts it up underneath.
Yeah.
Where's the weakness of this Clemson defense? Is it like what if you had to talk about strengths and weaknesses? Where should Florida State try to attack?
I think it's the athleticism of the second level, the linebackers.
Okay, something we're all too familiar with.
Yeah, but they really know what to do. They really know where to be a lot of the time.
It's really just Skalski.
Yeah,
Skalski's a touch slow.
He gets a lot of hype, but he gets himself out of position because I don't think he's that athletic. But he knows what the heck to do. Like he's been playing football for 75 years at Clemson.
Yeah. Well, they don't have many true linebackers. They play a lot of this this literally dime. I think the right team can line up against them with heavy sets and run the ball on them.
We've seen Florida State for years run counter tray at them and have a lot of success. Back to Jimbo and Dalvin. I mean, I expect to see a very heavy dose of counter tray.
Do you expect to see a lot of tight ends in the game? Like Kevin was saying, it may be an opportunity to line up and run at them with kind of the nub sets that Mike likes to use, inline tight ends. Do you think that that's going to be a heavy dose of that this game?
Mike's not going to do anything different. He's going to run his offense. They're going to run 3 tight ends. They're going to run 2 tight ends. They're going to run 3 backs. They're going to do what they do, and they're going to try to, as the game goes along, anticipate what kind of blitzes Venables is sending, where he's sending them from, and they're going to adjust their blocking schemes as they go, and they're going to find a way to run the football. I hope the defense can do their part. You know, Clemson hasn't scored 21 on anybody and all that stuff.
They haven't.
I don't think they have this year on a Power 5. I don't believe they have.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the number is, but it's somewhere in that 20 range.
Yeah, there's some sort of stat out there that they haven't scored 21 or something like that.
Well, it's 7-7. This is like an NFL game from '96. So yeah, this is pretty low scoring affair right now.
Gosh, I know this is how you need to throw this ball, but at this level, DJ has 0 touch. I mean that's a bad example because you need to throw that hard. I think that's the wrong read too, but he doesn't make life easy for his receivers.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah, they had to fake punt to beat Syracuse. That's even worse than losing to Syracuse.
I don't know. I like being in the winning part of the.
Yeah,
dude, that was a pretty solid throw by the guy.
Yeah, maybe he should be starting. Some touch on that ball.
Back to DJ. 48 seconds, kid. What you got?
He's like Jamarcus Russell. He's got all the arm strength in the world. He can run the ball.
That's a nice throw to his left.
Oh, he can make great throws. That's the thing. Is if you make a highlight tape of him, you'd think that Clemson's undefeated. But 2nd and 14. Oh my gosh. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, those are the things that worry me. You can't defend that. I don't care.
No, not
They
at
had
all.
that played perfectly, and he just throws it up high to Justin Ross, who's a absolute stud, and he makes a play.
Yeah, who was a first-round pick 2 years ago.
Yeah, and
somehow
our secondaries played better, but that's indefensible.
Yeah, I mean, this Clemson offense is pretty stale. I don't think they have much of a running game. I think they put too much pressure on DJ to throw the ball in 3rd and longs because they can't generate 3rd and shorts. But if they're able to start moving the ball and start making some completions, they can get the big play with these receivers.
They got the Shipley kid back this past week, who is a little bit helps them a little bit at running back. They averaged like 5.5 yards a carry, I think, last week against Pitt. They just don't want to run the football. I mean, they want to throw the football. That's what they want to be.
Yeah,
which I don't quite understand with that personnel, but
with that offensive line either. We found that it's much easier to teach kids how to run block than pass block.
Yeah.
There may be some matchup issues for Florida State if that Shipley kid's back, particularly like catching the ball out of the backfield against our linebackers. That's something that you would think Tony Elliott would scheme up. You know, angle routes, things of that nature, wheel routes.
And we've already seen them throw the flare out there. I mean, they're going to see the tape. I mean, we know the Florida State's linebacking core is a major issue, and while they've played a little bit better of late, we know it's a major issue for them. mean, it was a major issue against Syracuse. They ran crossing route after crossing route right at them.
Oof, blew
Yeah,
that one up.
I'm a small part of me is worried that this Clemson team's going to figure something out against this defense. Because the hard thing about it is that the average of this defense is not terrible of Florida State, like probably above average if you compile all the parts. But when you just have one part that's as big of a hurdle as our linebackers are, it just makes
Jeez.
game planning easier.
Mm-hmm.
Those things worry me. We don't make those plays.
Well, that good thing that was Syracuse making that play.
Yeah.
There's your
But we're
voice,
gonna have to.
Kelsey.
They're gonna have to make those plays. That's my point.
Oh yeah, to move the ball on Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have Kenny Pickett throwing the ball downfield for us.
Yeah. Where's he going?
Schrader?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know. All we had to do was put a little pressure on Schrader, and he melts. I don't know why we didn't bring the house.
Yeah, more things that worry me because it seems DJ's the same way. Pressure him and he's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, if he can sit there and make rhythm throws, he's pretty accurate.
You think that with the performance of the defense, people starting to trust the scheme more, at least from what it looks like. Jesus, headstand. Will Adam Fuller get more aggressive this week?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean,
You're still worried
obviously,
about the guys on the outside, right? Giving up the big play. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Knowing
That's gotta
Adam
be a concern
Fuller,
for you.
he's going to
oof, there's some
allow
pressure
the
right
big
there.
play. He's
Okay.
going to be aggressive in the middle, and he's going to allow the big play.
Okay, get more back to vintage Fuller.
Well, I'm saying, well, actually, to be honest, we've played a lot of cover 4 recently. And I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't leave that. If we just say, this is what's working for us right now. The kids seem to have picked it up.
Ooh, that was nice.
Yeah, I think we see plenty of cover 4, plenty of man. They'll bring their nickel pressures. We know that. I mean, he's going to do that stuff. Just hope we don't get screened to death when it happens.
Or hope that they continue blocking as poorly as they do out on the perimeter.
Yeah.
As Clemson does.
Right.
Yeah, Clemson doesn't have the same defensive line that they've had these past couple years. I was saying this earlier. I just don't think.
Right. Was that the coach's kid actually playing in meaningful?
That's Venable's kid, yeah.
That's definitely different. You only saw the Herb Streets and the Venables when they were kicking everybody's ass. This is a different Clemson team.
Yeah, some nepotism issues potentially in the Palmetto State.
A little draw. I would expect to see some of that.
Yeah, that's where DJ's his best is when he's able to get moving downfield. Unfortunately for Clemson fans, he hasn't really been asked to do that very often.
And he's just not going to go for 50. Like when Howell was running some of those, you felt like he was a threat to break it. Schrader the same way. DJ just kind of looks slow, and I don't know.
Decisive. I mean, he's a first down quarterback runner.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a home run threat quarterback runner. It's not going to be super explosive stuff.
Well,
I'm not worried about him outpacing our team.
He's also not challenging the defense, so that's why, Schrader or whatever were able to get so much space was.
You know what, too, Kevin? I don't really see DJ Ugablagwale as he doesn't seem to be like a very improvisational runner. All of his runs seem to be very like direct quarterback draw, maybe one read and tuck it and go. Where you see people
They're
like Jordan Travis, right? A lot when Jordan Travis does his damage, when Garen Schrader did his damage against us, it was a bunch of stuff that seemed to be on the fly, kind of backyard football. I don't see that in his game.
Seems like he had an opportunity to pull there and didn't pull.
Yeah, he did.
That's happened a lot. He looks very hesitant to pull the ball.
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to be a runner. Somebody's gotten in his head that he's a pocket quarterback, and
Clemson's offense honestly reminds me a lot of where Florida State was under Taggart's second year, where it was like we still had some talent. We could still do the explosive play every once in a while, but there was no identity. There was no offensive
rhythm.
line. There's nothing to kind of hang your hat on, and so there's no base to build off of.
Sure. God, especially when I am still stuck on that first play from Clemson's offense. How bad that block was for the wide receiver.
But
Those
DJ's
things
got a
scare me.
cannon.
Yeah, he's got a nice arm.
He's got a long
Nope.
motion. I don't like his motion at all.
Oh, you just don't like him.
You're telling me, look at this. Look at this right field to home plate baseball windup.
Absolutely, it's long. I'm not saying it's not long. I'm just saying you don't like him.
Well,
You're
of course,
biased.
Of course I'm biased. I didn't like him out of high school.
That's right, because you're racist towards Polynesians.
I love Mackenzie Milton. Does that count?
He's Hawaiian.
That's yeah, that's not
That
Polynesian.
No.
That's a Pacific Islander.
Run that back. Let's look at that run again.
Trey's loving this.
Dude,
Using the Hawaii card.
a little outside zone. He cuts it up inside. I do like running against 3-man lines.
Right. Yeah, that's why I keep saying I don't think we can't run against this team.
Well, they're playing offense right now.
Yeah.
I know, but
But
Clemson
that's
is a
right. They
three-man
run a
front.
3. That's very good call. Very good call.
Although they are kind of hybrid. They'll run 4-man fronts, and I expect we see a lot more 4-man front this week.
That's a weak ass run, dude.
Yep.
Like on 3rd and 6, like that's terrible.
It's almost like every run he runs is the backup Tennessee quarterback trying to win the game on a scramble. You guys see that?
Yeah, I do actually see that.
The kid that weakly strolled out of bounds instead of trying to get a touchdown.
Yeah, there's just like you said, Adam. It's an unwilling runner, just no conviction there. So it's 14-7 or 17-7. 9 minutes left. Just Clemson's offense fits and starts. Their defense is really been the one that's won the game, but it's not a suffocating defense. There's definitely some ways that we're going to get our explosive plays. Oof, God. Hope Schrader's okay.
Oh
And
my
he is.
gosh. What a throw.
I can't believe that came out of that kid's arm.
Schrader is randomly pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is a throw.
He does have flashes.
Man, that's some. You know what? I've been mean to him because he's not great at football. The cojones on the throw, boys. That was nice.
4 verts against cover 3. What are you doing in cover 3 there? Well, 3rd and 8. I think cover 3. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they are.
Oh, Adam.
What's
Yeah,
that about?
100%.
Brent Venables, the game has passed him by.
No.
I know.
I just don't think I think you're thinking that your free safety is going to be able to cover any throw by Schrader, which is
Yeah.
probably a safe bet, but not there.
God, I hate these colors, man. The color orange is just it hurts my eyes, and I'm seeing so much of it this game.
Orange v. orange. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
it's
brain doesn't know
disgusting.
who to cheer for. It wants both teams to lose.
Nothing. You want the stadium to cave in with no injuries, of course. Just
So
nothing.
defensively, if you're Florida State, now Kev, I know you're going to do a longer preview later in the week, but defensively, what are you looking coming into this game trying to take away? Are you trying to stop the run game? You trying to make sure DJ doesn't make a lot of throws? Like, what are you attacking specifically?
On defense,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I stuff up the middle of the field. Make sure that DJ can't throw, they can't run the football. Don't give him easy outs. You're probably going to give up a touchdown or two just off of some broken play by Justin Ross or something, but I don't know. I think I would take that over Clemson just being patient and trying to run the ball against you.
Yeah.
Adam, I like the UNC game plan. I think you try to get them no, not the UNC game. I was thinking maybe like an adapted version of the Notre Dame game plan. Excuse me. I would rather have DJ try to beat you with his arm on long throws, and then if you give up some runs, I'm okay with that because I don't think he's going to burn you for a long one, right?
Yeah. See, I actually like the UNC game plan.
Okay.
I want to take the throw away. I want to take their RPO game away. I want the linebackers staying back, and I'm going to trust my front 4, and I'm going to rotate those guys through as much as I can.
Keep them fresh.
Trust them to go win me the football game on our defensive side, and then hope that our offense can stay productive. And
honestly, that's kind of been Fuller's MO all year, and it's probably not a bad plan against this offensive line, to be honest with you.
Do you, and I think after listening to you, you sound smarter than what I said. However, do you worry about if you give away some of the intermediate stuff in the passing game, trying to protect, like trying to defend the long ball? Do you worry about DJ getting some rhythm and then starting to build some confidence? I mean, his confidence has to be extremely shaken right now. I mean, he got struck out of the last game.
I'm not trying to take away the deep ball. I'm just saying I'm trying to defend the pass. I'm trying to squeeze the middle of the field. Okay. Take that away, like Kev was kind of talking about, with keeping those linebackers dropped, playing them a little bit deeper, keeping them back, not having them come downhill as quickly, not having those safeties come downhill as quickly. I'm playing a lot of nickel against these guys with Knowles and Jamie back at safety. And I'm really going to try to work some double, work my bracket coverages around from Ross, not if he's playing. Wherever I am feeling like I need it, but not being predictable, and really just trying to make DJ hand the ball off. I want DJ handing the ball off. I want them running the football.
Okay.
Because I don't think that they can sustain the run game. I don't think it's something that they want to do. I think they're going to get real impatient if they just have to go out there and try to run the football over and over and over and over again to go win a football game. And I think you're going to bait them into some mistakes.
Or to press a little bit. And I think what's interesting about it is that there's multiple ways to beat this Clemson team, which if we've analyzed this game over the past 4 or 5 years, Florida State's strategy was just to make it over without like a shirtless guy making an embarrassing meme of the university. There wasn't a chance. To me, there's multiple ways to attack this Clemson team. It feels winnable. I mean, I think the Vegas line is 10 points, and if I had to throw some money down, I won't, because I'm an upstanding father and diapers are expensive. I don't know where I'd throw my money on. Maybe the Knowles. So what do you guys feel? You feel good about the game? How do you feel?
I think 10 points is a good number for me.
Yeah.
I ultimately think that I think we're a little high on Florida State after beating a bad UMass team and beating a overrated North Carolina team and having a bye week and seeing everybody else do poorly. If I had to bet, I don't think we pull this game off. And I think that I would lean on Clemson having their best game of the season over us pulling out a miracle. But that's just the pessimist in me that's watched this team play for the past 5 years.
We'll talk to you in a couple days on your preview. We'll see if that changes. Adam, how do you feel?
I want to know who's healthy up front. I want to know if Gibbons has been your best offensive lineman, in my opinion, thus far this year. I want to know if he's going to be healthy and available, where DLT's at, kind of whether he's going to be available. I know we're not going to know that until we get to the game. Mike's going to do all this talk, and they're going to keep all that a big secret. I think defensively, I worry about them winning one-on-ones, but I'm going to worry about that all the time. They haven't shown that they can do it consistently, so I'm going to bank on that being continued. I feel genuinely optimistic about this game. Does that mean I think that they're going to win? I don't know if I'm ready to say that or not. I want to watch some more film of Clemson and kind of see where the week is, but I think that you're going to be able – they do such a great job manipulating those ends and running that counter tray, running those RPO arrows off of it. I think that they're going to find a way to score points. I think they're going to find a way to get over 20 in this game. I just hope that we can keep them under 20. And I know that everybody's like, oh, they don't score a ton of points, but I do worry about them winning one-on-ones down the field. I worry about Ross bossing some guy, and those are things that we don't handle very well. I want to see that we respond. I do think we're going to find more points that people maybe expect us to.
I think so too. That's been the one constant. When Jordan Travis plays, Florida State scores. So, I mean, they are going to be at home. It's a true road game. The one we just watched was in the Carrier Dome, which is a weird environment. They're going to be at home. They're going to be in the swamplands. They're going to be in front of the Pet Rock. All the people are going to be excited. They want blood for what didn't happen last year. So it's going to be a harsh environment. But we'll see. I mean, there's been a lot of talk during the interviews, think pieces in the media. This Florida State team is different. Mike Norvell said it. This is a different team than what started the season. Well, guess what, man? You got a great opportunity to prove it. So we will see. And Kevin will be back later with a full-on solo preview like only he does so well. Guys, you want to look at UMass for about 5-10 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, let's jump to the second half and see if there's not some youngins we can discuss.
Wash some of that orange off
I want to
our
talk
eyeballs.
Chubba.
Yeah, you've been waiting
Another
for this.
quarterback that Kevin hates.
Chubba's not in here. Hey, Chubba looked pretty good.
Look comfortable. He looked comfortable.
I mean, it was against the backups of the worst team, second worst team in the country, so probably the worst group of FBS football players he could face. But
what are you pointing at?
Little Florida State emblem.
All right, so I think this is Chubba's first drive here.
Shout out Travis Tumbler.
Wonderful product, made in the USA.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for that, guys. So
little down run on first down there. I like that. Or second down, sorry.
Is this down? Oh yeah, it is. I thought I saw the backside guard also pull, but
they're just
this is such good vision to see. This is his aiming point, and he sees this cutback.
Whoop.
I like that.
Yeah, David Johnson's done a very good job with this. But clear, the running backs are the best position group on the team to me.
I can't wait till they run that and then actually boot off of it and throw a crossing route.
And we lost our best running back last year, right?
He's talking about
Webb.
Oh, yeah. He was the best team running back on the team last year.
Norvell consistently gets good running backs. I don't know how he does it.
Maybe he coaches them up.
Yeah, here's old Chubba with a. You think this play action or RPO?
This RPO.
Yeah. This guy's cheating up. Hit the glance behind him. How do you feel about this throw, AB?
Jordan threw it really well.
Hey, that's at the game. I thought it was worse than that, but
a little low. Fine, young guy to young guy, man. Nice connection there.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's quick. That's a hard throw for him because he's got to flip his hips and reset his feet. Going to his left. That's not an easy throw.
Good handoff for him there. I like that handoff for him.
Was happy to see Toefield get in.
Yeah,
back
me
in
too.
A little bit of rhythm.
We saw a lot more of this 21.
Explosive. Yeah.
21
they played
looks.
A lot of games with the counter try. They really wanted to get after that play. They did it a lot with the double wing, with the two tight ends. They're doing it out of the three backs. Or out of the two backs, sorry.
Look at this. That's cool. You don't see that very often where he's able to get up on that safety.
Just enough to get a little movement. That's not a play you're seeing a Clemson wide receiver make right now.
No.
Right, and that's instrumental if you want to be able to run the ball on the perimeter. It's something we do off and on.
That's a dime.
That was a nice throw
too, man. Stuck it in the pocket. It held up well. Trusted the protection.
What do you think about his form there, Kev? I think it looks a little wonky, but
it's always looked wonky to me. Yeah, you just don't. By the time these kids are 18, 19 years old, they've been throwing football since they were 5. There's no way you just change their mechanics.
That back leg looks so stiff. I don't know. It might just be a back camera angle.
He throws with his back. But if it works, it works, you know.
It kind of does like the Jameis, when Jameis or Dak, when he gets ready for the game, he kind of does a weird little hip deal.
That's more velocity than I feel like we've seen him throw with.
I mean, weird mechanics aside, great play, man. Great drive.
Right. Looked good.
Yeah, I thought it was nice.
Woo! You feel like maybe you got something out of him next year.
Yeah, potentially.
If needed.
I mean, yeah, you don't sit Jordan Travis at this point, but yeah.
You have a healthy competition.
Absolutely.
Special teams.
This is the type of stuff they've got starters out there for a reason, man. That to win a game where you shouldn't, you're gonna need special teams to be a plus for you this week.
Yeah, which has been a big downside, a very unexpected downside.
Oh, he missed the wheel route.
Yeah. Got bailed out. This ball was out of bounds. I don't think it's a pass interference technically.
Wheel route walks in the end zone, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wheel route was open, in case you're not seeing it, guys. Right there.
That's a young mistake. It's one you hope next year he throws the right route.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. You'll take the pass interference.
It's not all good. Make the right read. I guarantee that's what Mike Norvell's saying.
Well, yeah, but I'm not having to be Mike Norvell.
Nice run, man.
That's
Good for him.
Run. Good power.
Yeah, if you give him a hole, he's as good as anybody. It's just he's not going to be able to break that first tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
You're seeing a lot of points with put the second string guys in halfway through the third quarter, man.
Still, though.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's good. I'm glad we kicked this team's ass enough to where we got those guys some reps.
Those kids scare me against this defense. A kid like DJ doesn't scare me as much. This kid had some wiggle to him.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's more of the backyard home run hitter types that really have been kind of eating up the explosive plays. Other than that, Florida State's defense has been playing pretty sound.
Great job by the linebackers.
And you kind of rarely see DJ kind of pull up a throw. Like if he starts going, he's gonna go.
That's nice right there.
It'd be interesting to see if he can confuse our linebackers by like pump fakes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why this kid isn't starting for UMass. I know he can't throw the ball, but he at least gives you one dimension
instead of zero.
But to be fair to the quarterback, when everybody else is, yeah, this is a nice throw.
A lot of distance on that had to travel,
and
right?
You see it's in a better spot because he doesn't have to flip his hips back. When he's throwing to the left, he's got to get his hips back.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to flip his hips back around and throw. It's a little bit tougher throw. He can just throw this right in rhythm.
Good catch and run by Andrew Parchment. He's starting to show a pulse 6 games into the year. That's nice.
Let's see. Is the read on here? Yeah, he's got a read.
Yeah, kid squats.
Yeah, I was worried that they took away the read for Chuba because he didn't pull it once.
Yeah, that's second team O line. You had some guy named like Spackle or something who was like playing center. He was about he weighed whatever, dude. Sprackle. He weighs as much as me after like Thanksgiving dinner. He's a small guy.
This is a Mackenzie Milton type throw.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the left.
Turn your hips. Deliver. Seems to have some sort of connection with Parchment.
Yeah, second team throwing a second team.
We've never seen this much space wide open in a ACC game for a receiver, but it's a good throw nonetheless. Yeah, as much flack as I give this kid,
that's a great route.
It's best for everybody if he works out, you know.
Let's see that route.
Who is this?
He just sheds this guy.
Jordan Young.
Jordan Young.
Oof.
Oh, dude, come on.
Stalk block and go.
The abusement part.
Why is that kid not getting more run?
Because that's the first time he's done it ever since he's been here. But man, he had a cool nickname in a highlight reel in high school.
What was it?
Oh yeah, he was the abusement park.
Oh, okay. Weird for wide receiver.
Kev was so not hip.
Yeah,
Me?
We made you fun now. You were not hip before.
That's true. You are stiff. You're like Chuba's left leg. You're just very stiff. Now we've loosened you up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a type of run. That's a run that DJ is going to hit, but he would have been tackled 7 yards back.
Like he's not that explosive.
No.
What do you make of Travis J being out there? 11 minutes left in the 59-3 game.
I don't think he's going to be that much of a factor at all this game. I don't know how much longer he's going to be with the program. I mean, I haven't heard anything special. A kid of that talent level, you gave him a shot on special teams, immediate mistake, and he's out there with your full-on second-team defense.
That guy went from being your best defensive player in camp to playing with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a 59-3 game against UMass.
Well, I mean,
that'll tell you something about his trajectory.
Right. I mean, he played against Florida State's wide receiver core, and I don't know if he got complacent or what, but it's just the light hasn't shown on for him, which we've seen the interceptions he's made. He's plenty talented. I know he's been fighting off some injuries, so maybe he'll make us eat our words. But yeah,
it's 12 Damari Tate.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he gets a little lost. He looks a little
does, and he's
soft
got to
here.
be more physical. Mm-hmm.
Right. This is him. There's his guy goes on a tunnel screen. He needs to fight through everything and try to make that tackle. You can see him just dancing.
Much different to where you saw like a guy like Kevin Knowles fighting through screens and tackles. And so how DeMaury Tate hasn't got any. This might be his first time seeing the field all year, guys. So
Yeah, but
it absolutely is. But he was an academic kid last year,
mm-hmm.
and then he's been injured this year. Missed pretty much all spring. He's a guy way behind in his development.
He's got a great frame, man. He's got
he's
tools.
long. Not bad coverage. That Blake kid was off and on.
He's a walk-on, right? Blake?
Yeah, out of Colorado. Yeah, transfer from Colorado State.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, here he is off. Just gets beat on a little double move here. That's a better route than I've seen pretty much any of our receivers run. That's pretty nice. Not gonna lie.
That's pretty nice.
That kid transferred from Duke, I think they said.
Yeah. He's
somewhere. He was in the ACC. I'm pretty sure.
He's a tobacco transfer.
Ja'Kai Douglas.
Yeah, he got some run. I was really
was a receiver. Now he's a running back.
I like him better as a receiver, but it is what it is.
He had a heck of a touchdown catch against Notre Dame.
They give him the ball there on 4th and 1 late in the game when it doesn't matter. See what he can do. I think those are good opportunities, though. You get a chance to see what a kid's going to do in a situation.
I agree too, and it's one of those things. Florida State's getting their identity. It's like a team as a baseball team as the playoffs start to approach. You start to shorten your rotation a little bit, figure out the lineups you can count on. I mean, Florida State's done the same thing.
Yeah.
McClellan with the tackle.
There.
Wait, who?
Patrick Payton, number 56, defensive end, freshman.
16 gets manhandled.
Who did?
16? Not 15, but 16.
16's Hunter Washington.
Gotcha. Yeah, he got pushed down the field.
Yeah, he's got to get
good
some
reps,
weight.
man. Good reps.
They are good reps.
Him and Peyton are they're not in full-time contributor shape yet. They got some poundage to put on.
Yeah, but you can see where Tate and Washington, if you have them for a couple years, put some weight on them. They've got the frame.
Dear man.
Tate specifically, that's a recognizable guy. You see it. That's good coverage. That's
long
nice.
Behind arms. Cortez
53.
Andrews transfer.
Yeah, Maryland transfer, the linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tate's. I want him to turn into something.
Yeah, that's one they need to keep working on.
Oh, just go down, kid. Like, come on.
He's trying to earn that starting position back.
There we go.
Hey,
there's Jermaine.
Nice hat, Jermaine.
Enjoy your time. It's interesting. It's interesting just seeing that picture because I think we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago. When's Jermaine Johnson? Is he going to get a sacks? Is he gonna pack it up? And it's not looking like that, man. This is a hard playing team. This is a resilient team. This is a team that's really starting to have a lot more composure than what we've seen, just based on the way they've responded, the amount of penalties that has just decreased so dramatically, even more so that you're used to typically seeing with a Mike Norvell team. He's never been a coach where he was one of the least penalized in the AAC or whatever, but I don't want to buy into it too much just based on the competition. But I mean, just from the eye test right now, it looks like a different team. What's going to define Mike Norvell's year 2, we're about to find out in the next 5 games, in my opinion. This is what defines his year.
Yeah, I agree.
We got a shot, boys. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I think if you go out and go 2-5 in your next 5, you're feeling a lot better.
I'd like to see 2-5 in their next 5. That'd be a fun little
just an extra 2 games.
Since it's mathematically impossible. But
I mean, win 2 of your next 5. You know what the hell I mean? Come on, it's a late night.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I'd love to see them go out and win 2 of their next 5. Even if it's BC and if it's BC and NC State, or it's BC and Clemson, or it's Clemson and Miami, whatever the hell happens. I mean, I think if you go out and win 2 here, going down this stretch where, before the season started, you probably didn't think you were going to win any of them.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling better. You're feeling like there's some momentum.
You win 2 out of these next 5, and there's going to be one of those wins that is going to be it's going to be very positive. So I'm with you. My goal is 2 of the next 5. But I've had strong feelings against Thabo Swinney before it was fashionable. So I'd really like to win this one. I'd like to make this one of them. Kevin, what do you think, bud?
Yeah, I mean, ideally you'd like to see a bowl game, and it's easy to lick your chops and be like, oh, Miami's down, Clemson's down, NC State just lost to Miami, so how good are they? Boston College looked good, but now they don't look good. You know, the list UF, you know, who knows what's happening with UF consistently having one of the best offenses and one of the worst defenses. So there's no easy wins in the rest of the schedule for this Florida State team. There's no one that you look at and say, well, that's a win. But there's no one that you look at and say that's an automatic loss either. And so I think it's easy to look at that and for fans and people to say, hey, why don't we win 3 out of the next 5, 4 out of the next 5? Because all of these games are winnable without taking into account that none of these games are automatic. And so there's a chance that you go 5-0, and there's a chance you go 0-5, and everywhere in between, because all of these games they're not exactly coin flips, but I would give Florida State a 30 to 50% chance to win any of them. And so that makes things complicated. It makes things hard. 2 wins, I'm happy with. 3 wins, I'm stoked with. 1 win, I understand. 0 wins, I think, is a big disappointment after the momentum you started building at this point.
I'm with you. Nothing easy, but no automatic L's. But what is automatic is you guys tuning into the triple option every single episode that we do. Subscribe to the X's and Knowles YouTube page. Turn the subscriptions on. Go to the X's and Knowles Patreon account. Throw Kevin money. He is poor. He's looking a little bit better. Still scraggly. And tell your friends about us, man. Tell your friends to subscribe. We're the only people really doing what we do, diving into the film like we are. We're definitely the only one with the video editing skills of my man, Kevin Little, who will be hitting you up with his solo Clemson preview later this week. And just, we really, really appreciate all the support and all the views, man. Florida State's on some momentum, and when they get some momentum, we get some momentum. So I'm feeling good, and I am, it's going to be interesting. I can guarantee that. Boys, anything else you want to leave the people with?
No, we are so close to 4,000 subscribers. Get us there.
Just like 2 more.
3.97. Let's go. Get us there. Tell your people.
Jimbo said, find the inch. Find the inch. Let's get to 4,000. Gentlemen.
I can't wait for Saturday.
I know, man. Get them. Go Knowles. Keep chopping.